Kevin Feige will announce a mutant-centered film with Giancarlo Esposito as Charles Xavier and Glenn Powell, Hangman himself, as Scott Summers. That is the leak that has come out.
Pizza time. Pizza time. Pizza time.
You like pizza time?
Pizza time.
Hey, Ed, how are you?
I'm good, my friend. How are you to this lovely... Wait, I was going to say it was Sunday. It's Saturday.
It's Saturday, yeah. It's Saturday. I'm still working on my background, that damn... the supply chain issues, man, they're hurting my background right now. It's really some stuff still on order, but we're gonna get it next week. I promise it'll be back for the people that watch on YouTube.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Are you gonna give them like a little? Are you gonna give them a little sneak peek as to what it is, or it's just gonna be like a surprise?
Maybe we post it on Instagram. Go follow us on Instagram.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
15,000 views this week, so let's keep it going. Anyway, welcome in, guys. It's as Ed said, it's Saturday, and the importance of this Saturday is absolutely nothing. No, I'm just kidding. The importance of this Saturday is we are a week away from Comic-Con. So this week we are going to cover some big Marvel leaks and rumors of apparently what will be happening and shown at Comic-Con. They're pretty big. Ed hasn't heard them yet, so that's going to be fun. But we're also going to be talking about Netflix and some interesting news around Netflix. Ed's going to dive into that. Miss Marvel wrapped up this week. We got some, I guess, big reveals. We're very excited to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it, give our final words on Miss Marvel. And we're doing a new segment. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Wow,
you did. Wow. Okay, you made it official right there.
We're doing it. We're going to do it. Where basically we'll get to it when we get to it, but
whoever cringed at that title, I just want to put it out there. I literally said that title maybe like a minute ago, and Alex was like, let's workshop it in. And I was like,
if you cringed at that title, fuck you, because you probably didn't cringe at "Eat My Hammer" when Natalie Portman said it in Thor. Like,
I forgot about that moment. Yeah. Oh yeah, she had "Eat My Hammer."
Yeah, where it's just, I'm a doctor, it's not Miss, or something like that. Which I can't stand people.
I'm surprised you're still quoting that movie, to be honest. Good for you.
Yeah. It's
wow.
Living in my brain rent free, unfortunately.
Yikes.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about Thor. We're here to talk about the news. First up is Comic-Con news. There was a big leak this week, Ed. And you haven't heard any of it and seen any of it or anything like that.
No, I haven't. I'm excited to hear about it.
I'm going to go through this list as quick as I can.
You're just going to say it? All right, let's do it.
I'm just going to go through this list here, and we'll see what you think is true, not true. We'll
so this is not particularly an official leak by any means. This is on Reddit. Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Take this with a grain of salt.
All right.
This list it's not been confirmed or anything like that, but people behind like the scoopers, I guess, on Twitter or whatever, Daniel RPK and all that, have confirmed it, I guess. So I'm just going to go through the list, Ed, and then we can talk about it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So first off, starting off at SDCC, Marvel, their panel, I guess, is next week. Marvel's panel is next Saturday night. It'll kick off with Deadpool 3 officially announced. Ryan Reynolds will be in studio there. Black Panther, the first official trailer will come. Wakanda Forever. That one's we pretty much knew. Secret Invasion footage will be shown to the audience, and the main cast will be revealed, and probably a date. Blade is there. Mostly the cast will be there. Mahershala Ali, Kit Harington. Big piece of news is Anthony Starr, Homelander himself, has been cast as Dracula. Marvels. Yep, we'll keep going. Hold on. The Marvels will show plenty of footage. Another big piece of news, Anson Mount is back as Black Bolt. You'll see him in the footage, and he'll be out there as well. World War Hulk. This is going to be a 4-part Disney Plus series. Could get a theatrical release, but it's said to be the big Avengers set piece before Secret Wars. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the whole cast footage will be shown. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, major footage will be shown. Jonathan Majors will be there. Wonder Man. Henry Golding has been cast as Wonder Man. I don't know much about it. Daredevil, Man Without Fear, will officially be announced as a Disney Plus show. Charlie Cox starring alongside Isa Gonzalez as Elektra. And the big reveal at the very end of it will be Kevin Feige will announce a mutant-centered film with Giancarlo Esposito as Charles Xavier and Glenn Powell, Hangman himself as Scott Summers. That is the leak that has come out. But I have more for you, Ed. I have more. The leak
we have so much to talk about already. Keep going. Okay.
The leak also talks about D23. Now, some people have said these announcements are going to get mixed into this SDCC, so some may get pushed to D23, some may be moved up to SDCC. Wow. But we will get official Captain America 4 concept art. Fantastic Four. The cast will be announced. Jamie Dornan will be playing Reed Richards. Amanda Seyfried will be playing Sue Storm. Joe Carey will be playing Johnny Storm. And Steven Spielberg is in final negotiations to direct and produce. I don't know if that's true or not.
I did hear about that a little bit this week, yes.
So that's the big news from there. The other stuff is Captain America 4, Thunderbolts, Shang-Chi 2 art will be shown, and then Armor Wars will be talked about as well. So those are the big SDCC news coming out. I'll clip all that.
Those are quite the leaks, man. Wow.
So is it? And again, we've been caught in some like Marvel hype this year already. Do you believe any of this? First of all,
the only reason why I may believe in it is because whoever did write all this up did a really good fucking job of mixing the things that we kind of already know should be happening with a lot of outlandish shit, which it's not like so far off from what could be possible. I mean, sure. I mean, kind of, yeah. My insights are telling me this could be very much true. There's nothing too far out on here, I don't think. It's nothing like Tom Cruise coming in as Iron Man, which was like probably the most outlandish thing I did here this year. None of that is in the realm is sending my sirens off like that. So maybe.
So
okay. All right.
Am the one I want to be true the most is Glenn Powell as Scott Summers.
I think that's a great choice.
I think he is the perfect cocky asshole that, James Marsden played a pretty good Cyclops.
I love James Marsden as Cyclops.
Yeah,
he's great.
And I forget the kid that played him in the new movies, but he was like he didn't have the same sort of like gravitas that Cyclops.
He's the guy from Ready Player One. That dude.
Yeah, that kid. Yeah.
He's fine. He's fine.
I'm really sorry. I don't know his name. But Glenn Powell channeling Hangman as that cocky dude who can be a leader. Yeah, I'm so excited for that. I'm 50-50 on the Giancarlo Esposito leak.
Yeah.
Maybe
if
not.
If that's true, I get it, right? Like I can kind of see it.
Yeah.
But the thing about Giancarlo though is that I think he really needs to take a bit of a pot. Like he's in everything. I love him.
He's in everything.
But he's kind of in everything, and I don't like. I think he's better than being used sort of as like this pull, like because everybody loves him as Gus, and ever since he stopped Breaking Bad, or I'm sorry, stopped. He's still playing him on Better Call Saul. I forget. I'm sorry. He's been playing that for years now. But the nerd and geek crowd love him so much, and I feel like Disney particularly, and I'm sure he loves these properties too. But I just feel like he's always that dude. He's in games now. He was in Far Cry, the last Far Cry, and I just feel like he's always being used as that dude. Like, oh my god, it's Giancarlo. Oh my god, it's Giancarlo. And now he's going to be playing one of the biggest X-Men or superheroes of all time. It just feels kind of. That same kind of vein, which is like, okay, we'll see, I guess. Also, big news because Charles Xavier is obviously historically white, and so this would be a big race change for him. And
yeah, I mean,
it'd be a very different way we've ever seen the character, and I don't think it's a bad thing. But okay,
Good point. Yeah, I mean,
I'm still sour. I'm still sour on Multiverse of Madness. Is all. It's just
how
like
it ended. Yeah.
So now, but the other thing that's making this very clear is that everything in Multiverse of Madness was just nothing. I guess because now,
right.
If it's true that what's his face is playing Reed Richards, then maybe that whole thing was just.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Again, that's an insanely good point because if Jamie Dornan is playing Reed Richards, right, and then Giancarlo Esposito's Charles Xavier, and then Anson Mount is back as Black Bolt. It all meant nothing. Like it was just a cameo thing. Now,
but that's weird, right? That Anson Mount is back as Black Bolt, but everyone else is now changed. It's just so I don't know where they're going with this. Besides, so it's a little weird. If this is true,
yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how much of this comes true, especially the Anson Mount stuff, because it does seem like they're going to set up. Because you thought, the Inhumans are dead, right? And we'll get to Miss Marvel a little bit later in the show.
In a second.
In the comics, Miss Marvel is an Inhuman, and that's not so anymore. But it's earlier this week, it seemed like they're done with Inhumans, and now we're getting leaks that said, oh no, Inhumans will be back. But I guess the Inhumans will be the space X-Men, and the mutants will be the Earth X-Men, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So it seems kind of weird to me. The Blade news that did get me kind of hyped. Anthony Starr as Dracula, Homelander.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Now,
if that's true,
how far Marvel goes into it, they're not. I don't know. They keep saying, Deadpool's going to be rated R. I don't know. I really don't know. A part of me is saying there's no way in hell they're making it rated R. There's no way in hell they're making Blade rated R.
No.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. The one piece of news that I think is absolutely fake here is World War Hulk. I don't think
they've been shooting this show.
No, I don't think they have the rights to it.
They don't have the rights to it? I don't know.
They don't own Marvel does not own the rights outright to Hulk. Universal owns part of those rights. So that's why Hulk can only appear alongside characters like Thor in Thor Ragnarok. It's not Hulk's movie, it's Thor's movie. So this property being called World War Hulk would be his property. I don't think Marvel can do that.
Well, we said that about the Spider-Man from Sony, and lo and behold, they did that too. So
I mean, that's different. They had an agreement.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? They could have been talking about this for a while. For all the fuck we know. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you though. When I heard that, I was like, that seems like really out of nowhere. And then the way that you pitched it, sort of this jump up point for Secret Wars.
Yeah,
that's again. They're gonna announce Secret Wars. That's the other thing. They're announcing Secret Wars. Like that's the next big.
They're not announcing Secret Wars. They're just talking about Secret Invasion, which is Secret Invasion's the lead up to Secret Wars, I think.
Right. But this you're saying that World War Hulk will also be towards that. It will be like right before it. Is that what you said?
I think World War Hulk is like years away, but they're not. They didn't give me a timeline here. It just says it's a 4-part series that could have a small theatrical release, and it could potentially be the big Avengers event before Secret Wars, with many big characters returning. Well, I guess I should have read that. If there's many big characters returning, then I think technically they can use Bruce Banner, Hulk, the way it works, the way the contract works. Again, I also don't know if they own the rights outright to Namor. Universal owns those rights too.
I didn't even know that. Yeah, see, we're getting the niche characters and their licenses for who owns them. I don't even know that now. They should have a fucking website just for that because it gets confusing. Anyways, I mean, again, who knows? I guess we'll see. A part of me feels a little, again, not so hyped just because I feel like
well,
yeah, go ahead, say it.
So I just funny you said that. There's this great little diagram.
Is there? Oh, nice.
Hulk, Universal let go of the Namor rights. Marvel has all the distribution rights. So if they want to make a solo Namor film, they have no problems. Universal, however, did hold on to the film distribution rights of Hulk. So there cannot be a solo Hulk film. Does not mean there can't be a solo Hulk TV show.
TV show.
I was wrong. Okay.
No, okay. That's fine. Cool.
Yep.
Bookmark that site.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I've been we've both been somewhat lost some hype for what's happening in the MCU right now, just because again we're kind of lost. These are all great, obviously, but it just doesn't. When we don't know where it's going, it just feels like, okay, great. I guess we'll see where it goes, though. Again, unlike Phase 1 through 3, it's like when they announced Civil War, after they announced that we were going to already have like the next Avengers films, that made sense, right? That got us so hyped because we knew the players that were going to be there and potentially how it would affect the big Avengers films after that. And so when I hear stuff like Secret Wars, and again, remember, I'm not a comic book reader. I know it's a huge deal, but I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know what how these things all come together to Secret Wars, and how I, so I don't know what to expect. Besides, like, that sounds cool, that sounds great. I don't know what it is, but that sounds great. So I guess we'll see what happens. But I mean, we've come to expect the robustness of these announcements from Marvel before, so that doesn't surprise me. I guess what I'll be most excited about is who are playing these characters. That is sort of like what is making me most excited, because that we can sort of extrapolate and talk, because we know the actors and see we can theorize how they'll play. But as for the stories, who knows where this all goes? So exciting stuff. It's true.
I think it is exciting stuff. Look, we all know the Deadpool stuff was happening. You have Ryan Reynolds. You're going to make a movie with him, so that's the least surprising.
It's going to happen.
Sean Levy will direct. He's been announced.
Is that official?
Already. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Then.
Yeah, he's been announced to direct.
That should be good.
Black Panther had a lot of leaks this week. I don't know if you saw any of them.
Nope.
But it does sound like it will be Namor. It does sound like there will be a new Black Panther by the end of the film. So we'll see how that movie turns out. But I think a trailer will go a long way in cooling people's worries about the film. If there's anyone worried about it besides us, I don't know. Apparently, if you read Instagram comments for being too harsh on the film, I guess critiques aren't allowed anymore. Anyway,
a movie that hasn't come out. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Great. Good for you guys. Have fun with that.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is the shortest one. Lots of footage will be shown. Cast will be there. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Lots of footage will be shown. Cast will be there. So that's cool. Henry Golding is Wonder Man. A couple weeks ago, there were rumors that it would be Henry Cavill as Wonder Man.
Why are there so many reports of Henry Cavill playing so many different
it feels
superheroes?
like people just want Henry Cavill in something else besides The Witcher.
It's great, which is like people still love Henry Cavill. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
He's like a man of the people, man.
That's really cool.
I don't know anything about Wonder Man. Ed, I don't know if you do.
Me either. No,
I've never read a single comic. I didn't know he was a Marvel character. I read a lot of comics as a kid. I have never seen Wonder Man. So that's cool. Oh, apparently another Marvel will be introduced in the Marvels, and you'll get a tease of that.
There's another. Is there another Marvel in the comics? I don't even know.
There is another Marvel, Mr. Blue Marvel
really?
himself. Yeah. So I'm assuming it has to be that guy.
Great.
Daredevil, Man Without Fear. Look, Charlie Cox come back. We know that's going to be great.
Great stuff. Give me more. Look, that's what we want.
Give me Echo. Ed's not excited for Echo, but give me Echo. Give me this street New York City Kingpin running shit, building up, coming up, and I'm good. Marvel.
Yeah.
The rest of the stuff I don't really care about at the moment, but hey, and then I Joe Carey as Johnny Storm does kind of excite me a little bit.
Yeah, me too. I love Joe Carey. I think he's great.
I was actually picturing a different Netflix guy, Stranger Things guy for him. Dark Montgomery.
Montgomery.
Yeah. Billy, I was thinking Billy.
Dacker Montgomery.
I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name, man.
I love Dacker. Yes. Yeah. I do love Dacker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get why Joe Carey. I get Joe Carey though. That makes sense.
I get it.
And people love Steve.
Sense.
Yeah. Yes. People are gonna watch the shit out of him. Yes.
That's great casting, Marvel. And
I honestly, Eddie would have been great.
Oh,
I love
Eddie
me some
would've been
Eddie.
great too.
I want more. That was his. I forget his name. I'm sorry, man, but like I love you, so I
Joseph
want to see
Quinn.
you in more stuff. Joseph Quinn, he's so
Yeah.
great. Why not him? He sounds like a great choice for that too. But Joe
I don't
Carey
like this,
makes sense.
Chrissy.
Dude, you know how many times I watched that Schmoyo? Have you listened to the music?
The music? Yeah, I've listened to the music.
The music part.
Yeah.
It's so good. I keep watching
Chrissy,
that.
wake up.
Chrissy,
I don't
wake
like
up.
it.
I don't like this.
That's hilarious.
So
People are pretty
good.
talented out there.
They're really
How do
good.
we? Last bit of this is how do we feel
Yeah.
about Steven Spielberg potentially directing Fantastic Four?
Yeah, I'm all for it. I mean,
I
come on.
hate it.
I mean, yeah, you hate it.
I hate it.
Why? Why do you hate it? Why do you hate it?
What was the last good
I knew you were gonna say that.
sci-fi Steven Spielberg
I
film?
knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, you're right.
No, come on, like seriously, I'm not trying to be a
No.
downer about it,
I'm
but-
agreeing with you. I mean, look. Well, first of all, his bad sci-fi films are still aeons above most others. That being said, yeah, when's the last good one? I don't know. War of the Worlds, which I don't think was amazing, but I still liked a lot.
You might be right. That might be.
I
last
enjoy
good
that
sci-fi
movie.
film, yeah.
But his last good sci-fi film, yeah, I might be War of the Worlds, because he did what? Ready Player One, and then I don't know what he's done after that in the sci-fi realm. He's largely moved on to like political dramas, historical dramas still.
Yeah, what's his like? I can't remember. I
Here,
can't
we can
remember
look it
the
up. I
last
got
one
it.
he did. Oh, West Side Story. He did West Side Story.
He
But
still
yeah,
was
you're
our
right.
story, but yeah,
He
sci-fi
did The
though.
Post. BFG. That was a terrible
Meh.
movie. Yeah, dude. Like
It might have been War of the fucking Worlds, bro.
in 2005. That is his last great.
I mean,
like,
arguably,
sci-fi.
Indiana Jones had aliens, so maybe that ended up being sci-fi, but not really.
Okay, but here's the thing. I just feel like it's a bad idea because Marvel has a template, and Marvel expects directors to follow their template.
More or
And
less.
when you don't, you get movies like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where you could tell the second half of the movie was all Rami. You could tell it. The way it was
obviously.
filmed, the way it was shot, and you were into it. It worked.
Yeah.
The pacing worked well, but you could tell the first half of the movie was a mix of Rami and Feige saying, no, we got to do it like this.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I feel like you'll get too much of that if it is Steven Spielberg.
But again, remember, like they go by numbers. So that once the movie hit almost the 1 billion mark, they were like, that worked. Even if
yeah,
it
I
didn't
guess
work
you're right.
for
You're
us, it told them that it worked.
You're right.
And you know
You're
what?
right.
It's true because we
Yeah.
all went to see it because Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi, yeah.
So when you see by director Steven Spielberg on the screen for Fantastic Four, how do you not want to see that? Like, that's just, of course, it's got my ass in the seat, So
You're
it's
right,
like,
you're right.
it makes sense. Do I think it could spell, like, are we going to get a Steven Spielberg film? Yeah, maybe not. But, it's exciting. It's exciting to see what he could do with it. I don't think it's going to be a bad movie by any means. At this point, you know what? Marvel just has to do films that are not bad. Like, that's their track record. They just don't have to be bad as DC. That's all they have to do. And if they clear that bar, I think they get it. Like, we're gonna go see it. It's that simple. I mean, let's be honest too, though. Fucking A, man. Even DC still makes money for making bad movies. People just love superhero movies, man. Period.
You're right.
Period.
You're right. All
so,
right. Okay. Well,
whatever. I mean,
all right.
I'm excited.
Well,
That's cool.
that's cool.
He's
We can
He's
leave it at
experienced. What can I say? At least he's experienced. We know there's going to be some level of quality. I mean, look, Ready Player One wasn't amazing, but there was some cool stuff, man. Like, I loved it when they recreated the Shining hotel. That part got me off my chair.
Did you
I
read
thought
the
that
book?
was fucking awesome. The Shining or Ready
No.
Player One?
Ready Player One.
Yeah, was Shining a book? Yeah, it was a book. No, I don't read. So I didn't read. No. No, anytime you ask me, did I read something? The answer is no from this moment forward. Okay. No, I did not. I have it. Fun fact, I do have it. I do have it, actually.
I've read the book twice. It's the only book I've ever read more than once.
Wow,
It is-
nice. Okay.
The book is so much better, but I guess
Sure.
the movie was okay. But the
I'm sure
book
it
was
was.
so much better. Anyway, also Do not read Ready Player 2.
I've heard that that's trash.
Not good. They should not have wrote that book. But
I've heard it was trash.
Whatever. Anyway, so that's the Marvel leaks. Again, I'll go through them one fast time. Deadpool 3.
God, that's wild.
Black Panther trailer, Secret Invasion footage, Blade, Anthony Starr playing Dracula, The Marvels, Anson Mount back as Black Bolt, World War Hulk, 4-part series on Disney Plus, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 footage, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania footage, Wonder Man, Henry Golding cast as Wonder Man. Oh, interesting detail I didn't mention. Evan Peters will be returning as Ralph Boner in that show. Very interesting. Don't know why. Anyway, Daredevil, Man Without Fear, Charlie Cox, Issa Gonzalez playing.
They're
Electro.
going to make him a superhero.
They're gonna make him fucking matter because people complained so much that it was just a stupid boner joke, and Kevin Feige's like, I know what I'm doing, you motherfucker. Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying.
They're going to make him a superhero. A secondary one, but
something
still.
Stupid,
something ridiculous.
And then lastly, Giancarlo Esposito announced as Xavier, Glenn Powell announced as Scott Summers, and a Mutant Center film finally announced. So we'll see.
Just a reminder,
any or all that
non-official announced.
Yeah, none of that is actually official.
Potentially announced. We'll find out next episode.
Massive grain of salt. Yeah, come back next time. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
dude, that so bums me out though, man. That bums me out that what's his face won't be playing Reed Richards, if it's true.
James Marsden.
Jessica. No, fucking John Krasinski.
Yeah, Jamie Dornan.
That kind of bums me out. No, it's not that. I think Jamie Dornan's a fine choice, but it's just like, why are you playing with my emotions? It's just like with the boner joke. Like, we were freaking out when we saw him because we thought, oh shit, like the X-Men universe is crossing over. And then it was the same thing with John Krasinski. We were like, oh shit, that's awesome. You listened to us and now he's Reed Richards. And then if he's now not Reed Richards, well then why fucking do that in the first place? Like, come on, Marvel. Like, I'm like, come on.
I have not seen Jamie Dornan in any movies
besides
except
50 Shades.
Huh?
Besides 50 Shades?
I never watched 50 Shades, dude. No, please.
I haven't either.
I saw him in Belfast.
I haven't seen Belfast yet. Oh, that's
nominated for an Oscar. It was very good. Oh, you know what? I saw him in this terrible Netflix film, The Siege of Jodetville or something like that.
Hold on. Netflix has terrible original content.
That's a wonderful segue. What's our next topic?
It is. We are back on the Netflix train here a little bit. Who knew that this would? We wanted it to stop, but unfortunately, it's not stopping. This week, we heard some pretty interesting and potentially serious reports. If it isn't true, which it was reported by Variety, so pretty
to think that's true.
Yeah, that's pretty good source right there. So Variety reported two things. The first one's a little bit of an extension of the last stuff we heard, which is that Netflix. I'm forgetting the actual word that I'm supposed to be using here. Laid off 300 more employees this week.
So that
sucks for one.
Yeah,
sorry for all those who got laid off.
Hopefully
sorry. That really sucks. I wasn't expecting that amount of people and a second round of layoffs from that. That sucks and a little worrisome.
I think this
obviously.
is their third round of layoffs, isn't it?
Is it third?
I believe it's their third.
Oh, I'm sorry for that. If it I don't know. Maybe I thought it was second, but
keep going.
Anyways, that sucks either way. Sorry to everyone who did that. But that's one. The second bit of news is more so statistic related. So what we learned from this Variety report is that apparently Netflix's licensed content, so those that they do not produce. So obviously, like big movies that you've seen on there, those movies and shows have to be they're made by another distributor and a company. Netflix has to there's a deal with them to license it, to have it on their service. That usually comes with a certain amount, a window, right, where they play it and then it will be taken off. Apparently, that type of content is still doing better historically throughout the history of the company than any of the Netflix original content. This content that they are putting their own money towards and making themselves. They're coming above that, which, if you're not understanding the seriousness of that, when all the contracts, the licenses expire, which most of them will, particularly the big stuff, because they're going to go back to their home, like Paramount Plus, their new home on streaming, Paramount Plus, HBO Max, everything, Peacock, everything, all those, they're going to get it back. Netflix will only really have their original content, and it's nowhere near the top.
Right.
That includes stuff like Stranger Things 4. So, whoo, that spells trouble if I were to ever smell something like that. Alex, what do you think of that news? How do you feel when you hear that? What does that activate for you?
Well, there's two things, right? So Netflix paid $500 million to get the rights to Seinfeld just last year.
Wow.
They've actually paid more than $500 million, which
$500 million. Holy
yes.
shit.
For a 5-year deal, that's, in 5 years, someone else is going to pay more than that. By the way, good on Jerry Seinfeld and everybody else on that show. They're still making money off of that. They get a chunk of that $500 million, by the way. So
yeah, them and their families are set for life. Let's just be honest about that. Yeah.
But so they also in 2019 to keep Friends on the streaming service, they played.
I heard about this.
Almost $100 million for just 1 year of Friends.
1 year.
They've lost a lot of like the NBC shows that really hurt them. The Office, Parks and Rec,
I was gonna say The Office.
Friends, all of these like sitcoms. So when you say that, yeah, I think they might be in a little bit of trouble. And of course, the content they put out doesn't demand your constant viewing.
No.
Like if I'm doing nothing in the background, I'm gonna put on Seinfeld versus Red Notice. And I thought Red Notice was a fine film, but Seinfeld I can put on and it'll play for hours, and Red Notice will end in 2.5, and cool. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I have a bit of a comparison here. It does feel to me that Netflix could be the next Kodak.
Yeah, maybe. Although maybe very much shorter lived though, unfortunately.
Yeah, but so for people that don't know, Kodak had the chance to buy the first digital camera and like technology, and they said, "Nah, we don't need it. We're good. That'll never catch on." Kodak went bankrupt 10 years later, and now all they do is make printers. So like the kings of cameras don't exist anymore because they refuse to adapt and change. Netflix is starting to teeter on that because, again, they can't continue to pay $500 million to Warner Media.
No.
Obviously, Warner Media and all these people, they're going to be like, yeah, we'll take your money, but we're also going to stream it on ours.
Yeah, of course. Exactly.
And every other place has an ad-based streaming service, and Netflix said, we're never going to have ads. And you see how quickly they've walked that back just this year alone. So yeah, it's not surprising to me. There's no like, you spent so much time and so much money in these shows, and you put too much in. And really, like 5 seasons of Stranger Things, sure, it's a lot of watch time, but again, you're gonna put on something that's easy to digest over Stranger Things. So yeah, I don't know. Ed, how do you think they fix it if they can? How would you try to fix it?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, they need to stop paying that much money. They really do. I don't know if that was clear enough, but they need to stop. It's too much. And because people are not watching their content, and that they need to take that face value. It's like, okay, people aren't watching the content we're making right now, whether that be because we're not getting better writers, we're not giving them enough time, whatever the case it may be. They don't have the foundation. So stop spending that money. Okay, great. Save that money for your own company to stay up.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I don't know, man. Honestly, I am scared for them because they're playing in a field that they created.
Yeah.
And now in a field that they knew that the players are flexing their muscles a lot bigger than they are now.
Right.
And they have a lot more. They have better, I guess you could say, coaches.
Right.
And they're pushing them to completely dominate them, and they will. They
Yeah.
absolutely will, because
Absolutely.
they own the content that they put their platform on, that they built their foundation on.
Right.
And they saw this coming. They did see this coming, and so they tried. They tried. They put $1 bajillion into their original content. It does baffle me that they weren't able to sustain good enough content, quote unquote, than these other places. I don't know where that went wrong. I think they need to find out what happened there. Why were they coming out with such subpar content? I would imagine it's because they spent so much money. I think they need to pull back a little bit, or at the very least, take 30% to save, put the rest in it to like really get people who know what they're doing. Get some of the writers, get some of the filmmakers from those studios, the big players, and make something good. Because as far as I'm concerned, the shows that I've seen, these motherfuckers may be getting people straight out from college. No offense to people out of college, but they're not. It's not good. It's not good content. So get better people to make your content, and just make better content. That's all I have to say.
Part of the problem is they greenlit so much so fast. I think they burnt so much money because again, like this movie, like you take subpar movies like The Old Guard and Red Notice. Red Notice cost $250 million. That's $250 million you'll never get. And also, another thing Netflix doesn't do is they make a movie, it lives on the streaming service, it's always there, right? Jurassic World Dominion, actually, you know what? Let's take a film that's older than that. Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. When Marvel sold their TV rights, so after those movies went and grossed $4 billion total at the box office, Infinity War and Endgame, and it made all this money from merchandising, right? On top of that, they sold the TV rights to, like, I think it was TNT or something, Warner, so it was Warner Media, for another like $400 million. So it's not just one avenue of revenue coming in, as Netflix is one avenue. It's one way. It's not syndicated anywhere. So like all these sitcoms you see, or all these TV shows you see on CBS or whatever, you can go watch them on Paramount Plus. They're all syndicated. They make those shows, so they go 5 seasons and then they become syndicated. And once they become syndicated, the network is making money off of it. They're not losing any money. They're just collecting money. Then they'll cancel the show whenever. Criminal Minds is like one of the highest grossing shows for CBS.
By the way, who the fucking knew that was going to be a show?
Right, which just got
so much
reboot,
money,
by the way. Or continuation. I'm not really sure. But like,
that's wild.
Again, all these networks have multiple streams of revenue, including the box office.
Yeah, right, and correct. They have multiple.
Now they're just throwing them on their site, which doesn't cost them anything. So yeah, I think Netflix, you either have to pump the brakes and put out less content, or you have to figure out how, you have to hire people from CBS, from Fox, and people that will do the 30-minute sitcoms. Those 30-minute sitcoms don't cost any money. Sure, Modern Family did, because the cast was making $1 million each episode, all of them. Yeah. But once you get to that point, hey, and then I think you start saying, we'll syndicate our shows. We'll sell Stranger Things to Warner Media or IFC. You can watch it there. So like I agree. That's a path you have to take now, or like give us more, I don't know, weekly buddy cop shows. I also think they're all in one release dates hurt the shows.
I do. I believe that. I agree
you'll see
too.
It up and then they'll cancel.
As much as like it makes us happy and it keeps us binging, I can't possibly see that being a good thing for them.
Right.
It gives them way less leverage. And that's that sucks. I think that's the thing, is I think they were trying, they're clearly trying to sort of create the zeitgeist around them, and they kind of did for a while, obviously, while they were the only ones doing it. They were ahead. They were clearly ahead of the game. But now I really thought that they had a lot of years. Netflix has been up for a while. I thought that maybe they had a better game plan. I thought that they did actually see this absolutely happening 100%.
I'm telling you.
But clearly, but again, no, but they were kind of more or less prepared, I guess. But their content just sucks. I mean, straight up, that's the problem. Your content sucks. Nobody wants to watch it. And that's a great point. Like, they can't syndicate it, which is why, for those who don't know, if we want to talk about more avenues of making money, and Netflix is trying to make this whole video game arm of their company, which great idea. You are at the bottom of the totem pole there, though, bro. Like, gaming is one of the highest, if not maybe the highest, earning industry right now, and it's one of the hardest. Also, it has an insanely niche market compared to everybody else at the moment, even though it's making a buttload of money. So good luck. That's all I can say. Smart move, but maybe you should have started a long time ago, because that shit, I don't know if that's going to sustain you right now. That's gonna take a lot to get up, man. Like, to get anywhere near return for games.
But it's cloud gaming, right?
It is. I believe they're trying to go for cloud gaming. Yeah, I mean, they can't be making their own. We're gonna be seeing like a Netflix console anytime soon or anything like that.
Which is more licensing, by the way.
More licensing.
Which cloud gaming service has been successful? Stadia?
No, that absolutely failed. No, to your point, you're absolutely right. The only ones that are actually really kind of succeeding right now are the ones that are proprietary for, obviously, Microsoft. Yeah, that is by far, I think, the most successful.
But they're a fucking gaming company at this point.
But it's fucking Xbox. It's fucking Microsoft. Yeah. So
yeah,
it is. I mean, honestly, now I'm really scared. I'm kind of scared for Netflix. I don't know what they can do. I honestly don't know, because again, they're becoming obsolete in their own game. It's really scary to see. And it's Kodak. Like they're Kodak. It's really kind of scary.
Yeah.
These big titans of the industry are now, they're taking over. They were always going to do that. I'm not a business person. I don't know what they can do. I don't know. It's scary. It sucks. And I hope they get out of it. I do like Netflix. I like what they stood for. But unfortunately, they're just not really making anything too great. I just want to say, too, to your point about how much they're fucking spending, the Gray Man, which is coming out very, very soon, that shit costs as much as an MCU film. It costs $200 million. Holy shit. Dude, that's insane. Oh, that's insane. And if you look, I've seen the trailers. Honestly, man, I'm not seeing that money on screen. The set production. I seriously thought this movie was made for maybe $70 million. Like,
we'll talk about the Gray Man maybe next week.
My God,
are the Russo brothers only MCU directors? Can they not make anything good outside the MCU?
I don't know why they think they have to go so hard on the action genre. They started off with comedy. Community, and made one of the best episodes ever on TV. I don't know why they're suddenly like really shifting, but like they're like doing dramas like 21 Bridges. What was the one before the Gray Man? I forget. There's like some other shit they were.
Extraction, didn't they?
They did Extraction, yeah. So all these like really heavy action movies. Maybe this is what they really loved, but they're clearly not particularly really good at it at the moment, or they're just not getting it. Well, no, the $200 million, man. I mean, what did they get for fucking Civil War? Probably right around the same amount, maybe just a little bit more. But yeah, when you look compared to Marvel Studios, man, I don't know what Netflix is giving them, but it doesn't seem like it's being shown on screen at all. I don't understand how a movie like that with $200 million looks like that.
We've been hard on Marvel here the past couple of weeks, but that does bring up a good point. Remember, Marvel Studios team isn't just the directors; it's the people behind the scenes, the VFX supervisors. Also, mostly just Marvel gets to exclusively use ILM, which is a massive thing. Like, there's still some movies that get to use ILM. Like, of course, what's his name? Michael Bay has a good relationship with them. And then it depends on the director, but Marvel gets to almost exclusively use them for all their films. That matters. That's
100%.
Like, if you thought it was bad in Korg, Thor: Love and Thunder, like some of the CGI, which some of the CGI was bad.
A little wonky.
It would be worse if it wasn't ILM. So, I think that that's important to note.
I think you're right.
But I don't really know what they do. Netflix, I don't know. I start syndicating some of my shows. I start putting them out there. But again, they are hard to syndicate because a lot of them do have violence in them. A lot of them do have sex in them.
Right.
Like, HBO's not going to syndicate your shit. So
No.
who's going to do it?
Yeah, Showtime. Who else? I don't know.
No,
Maybe.
Showtime's owned by CBS. They're not doing
Yeah,
it.
CBS. Yeah, no, you're right. No, they're not.
Yeah.
Oh
All right,
boy.
well,
Yeah, you know,
okay.
well, that's the news for Netflix. I hope they figure something out. That's all I can say.
Is Netflix the new Kodak? Anyway, now we'll move on to our next bit before we go to our main topic.
Oh boy.
Miss Marvel. Ed is very excited, as you can tell. Ooh.
Oh my god. So
Miss
much to
Marvel
say.
Wrapped up its series this week. I'm assuming it's probably only going to be one season.
God help
especially
us, hopefully.
God, especially with all the yeah, I think it's just one season. We'll just leave it there. They have too many shows to do another season already kind of loaded up in the deck. So really the biggest bit, she kind of got her full powers almost. We're told they will continue to evolve as she goes, but two biggest bits at the very end, her best friend, if I can remember his name, Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno. Disney really loves that name this year.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, so Bruno, he's gonna go off to like Caltech or something or other, and because that's where he goes because he's smart. He's a smart kid. So he ran some genes of hers, and then she says there's a mutation in your genes, and as she says it, da 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 da.
Fuck you, Marvel.
So yeah, Ed has some strong feelings about it. So I'm gonna let Ed. What did you think about the mutant reveal?
Okay, yeah. I look, first of all, I don't hate it in terms of the narrative. Like I don't particularly have strong feelings in terms of the comics and it following the comics the way it needs to point by point. It's not that.
Okay, yeah.
Where I get bothered by it again is that the X-Men. We've been waiting for the X-Men to enter the MCU for all these years. They've been flicking our bean about it for too long, particularly in Multiverse of Madness. They got the biggest bean flicker where you got freaking what's his face coming out on the yellow chair from the 90s, just making every 90s kid's head explode. And we think this is when it's gonna happen. It wouldn't have not been the perfect fucking time when the roller coaster's right at the top to give us all that so we can enjoy the ride to the bottom. No, that was one wrong move by Marvel. And then now we find out that the next move is in this fucking Disney Plus show with this fucking bitch wearing yoga pants that she's the start of the X-Men. Why? Because it's like it's the Indian show. Like, come on, man. Like, fuck this. It's so lame. Like, Marvel used to be cool. Like, what? You remember every reveal that we ever used to get from phase 1 to 3 was so fucking mind blowing and cool. Now it's like it's been like covered in fucking
That's a
all
very
this
good
woke
point.
shit.
Clea was super disappointing. She's just out there. Are you Doctor Strange?
What the fuck? She's like walking on like it's a fucking Sex in the City episode. Like,
and nobody looks at her like, why is this bitch wearing a bunch of purple shit? All this stuff.
Granted, I imagine the world is used to seeing that shit.
I guess that's true, right?
You know.
And then we get Hercules, Roy Kent himself, and then now this mutant reveal.
I'm not. Again, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so abrasive about it, but again, you're right. It's getting to me, man. Remember a second ago when I was like, I'm happy with MCU Phase 4. It's like not so bad. Now it's cascading. Like all these woke fucking moments in the shows are just coming forth. And I'm like, I don't like this. Wake up, Chrissy. I don't like this. God damn it. Like, I hate it. I don't like the way they're It's the execution. Again, I make jokes. It's like Indian bitch, whatever. It's not that. I don't. Kamala's great. She's fine as a person. I don't have anything against it. But again, honestly, man, like the whole show is just this like glorification of like the Indian culture, which is great, but that's the show. It shouldn't be about that. It should be about this person falling into her own as a superhero, and it's poorly done. Anyways, the mutant shit. I mean, great. X-Men's coming. I don't care if like she was an Inhuman and now she's a mutant. That's the stuff I don't really care about. But I'm sure that enraged some people. But how about you? Like particularly, it sounds like you were like fine with it.
Yeah.
What did you feel?
I'm fine with it. I kind of sensed it coming. I think
Really?
there's two things that Marvel fans are gonna have to accept. The first is that if you have not watched X-Men 97, the series, it is now required watching. The fact that they're using that's the second time in 2 months or whatever that we've heard that that I have a feeling it is going to connect heavily to that show. Kevin Feige has mentioned how important that show will be. It's on Disney Plus. Marvel fans, if you have it, go rewatch it.
So great. It's so great.
I will have to rewatch it. I haven't watched it since I was 8 years old.
It's so good. Yeah, every Saturday morning, man. Saturday morning.
Absolutely. So that's one. Two, I think Marvel fans as a whole, MCU, all fans will have to accept that this Kamala Khan and Iman Vellani, same person, she will be the forefront of the MCU going forward.
Oh God, hell yeah.
So if you didn't like her performance in this, you're gonna be, I don't think, very happy. I think she's going to lead this. These Disney Plus shows have been giving us so many hits at Young Avengers, right? We got Kate Bishop, we've gotten Kid Loki, we've gotten the young sidekick in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He's eventually the new Falcon.
The Falcon dude. Yeah,
sure. The Falcon kid. Echo, I think, will be a part of it. So, yeah, I think she will be leading the Young Avengers at some point, and you're going to have to be kind of okay with it. And look, I think her performance was fine. I agree with Ed.
Her performance is fine.
The show was just kind of just meh for me. I just didn't connect to it. But again, I'm not a father. And I am not a teenage girl, so I don't think this show is, because I've seen a lot of, surprisingly, I'm not a teenage girl. Shocker. I don't identify as one either. That's a bad joke. I probably shouldn't say that.
No, actually, no, I don't. That was actually fairly progressive of you to have said that.
I don't identify as one?
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, right? Like, that's good of you. We can't assume. I don't know what you identify as.
Yes, we cannot assume that is.
You can't assume. That was. I give you points for that. Whatever my dumbass points are worth, I give you points for that, my friend. That was good of you. I just want to jump off. Like, look, the show has poor writing. That's all it is.
Yeah,
like,
the show
has poor writing and imbalance. It's just imbalance. It's not like I don't care about high school drama. It's just that most of the show is that, and then halfway through the show, it kind of goes into this like
she goes to Pakistan. Wait,
she goes to Pakistan, which was like, or was it Pakistan? We both like, I don't know. We didn't watch episodes 3 through 5. I watched the last episode.
She goes reunites her family in Pakistan. It's Pakistan. I'm so sorry. Yes, it is Pakistan.
And
there's that whole time travel episode where she finds out she's the one that helps out and kind of sends in the way. And then look, I think this show does a lot for the MCU in terms of it's still widening out the world that is the MCU. Sure. Again, there's another realm. There is time travel, and there's her band that she has, and sorry. It's okay. Your dog can bark. It doesn't bug me.
All right. Sorry.
Oh, cool. So the bangle she has. There's also the tease of another bangle somewhere that's on that blue hand, if you remember, which I'm assuming will be given to at some point, but it does seem weird that the connection is mutant and not 10 rings ish, because there was 10 rings at one point.
Yeah, they mentioned the 10 rings, right? Yeah,
so like maybe
it's all connected.
I'm sure it is, but maybe Shang-Chi too. He's gonna go find that other bangle. I don't know. I really don't know. But overall, I thought the show was fine. Again, I
thought it sucked. I'll say this straight up.
The show was not for Ed or myself. So
no, it wasn't.
It's marketed towards young teenage girls. So if you are a young teenage girl and you enjoyed it, good for you. Do I think it deserves to be the highest rated Marvel property of all time?
Fuck no.
Absolutely not. But again, I want to say this to all Marvel fans. She is going to be the forefront of the MCU. It does seem like that. Like, you get a massive drop here as Mutant. Is it the biggest? Is it? I've been reading a lot of stuff that people say Marvel's biggest reveal and most important reveal of all time. Do you agree with that? Because I don't.
This reveal? This
The
one?
Mutant reveal, yeah.
Was it the most important reveal? Like what in what way? Because it's
I don't know,
I mean,
for the future of Marvel.
I mean, sure. We all knew X-Men was coming. I mean, I don't understand why.
I don't.
Why this is the most important? I mean, I don't know.
mean,
I would say no. Like,
I
it
would say
didn't.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say it didn't shock me. I mean, we know
No.
the X-Men. It's about how they were gonna execute it, and I just
Yeah.
don't think that they executed properly. So
Yeah, the most.
but yeah, we all
important-
knew X-Men was coming. X-Men was
Yeah,
totally coming.
The most important development of an MCU is when Disney spent $7 billion to buy 20th Century Fox. Let's be
exactly.
honest.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
right.
this moment. We knew it was coming. Look, all the tea leaves read that she was not an Inhuman. So yeah, this is not a very surprising thing to me. But again, go watch X-Men 97 because I think it's going to be.
Go watch
incredibly
X-Men
important.
97. It's so good. Yeah, you're right, because they keep using the jingle, and they're
Yeah,
going to
they
make a
use-
show out of it.
They're using
So
that same jingle, yeah.
it's going to be interesting. It's going to
Yeah.
be interesting the way that they execute this X-Men thing. I honestly
Right.
think they're taking it maybe a little bit too far. I think it could have been so simple. I think it could have been so much more simple than they're doing. But whatever. I mean, in Feige we trust, I guess. Hopefully.
Yeah, well, maybe it's waning a
we'll
little
see.
bit, but
It is definitely
yeah.
no. That's 100%. Excuse me. Yeah, that's 100%. I mean, again,
Yeah.
I can't help it, but MCU is getting woke. It's just the
Yeah.
truth now.
Yeah,
It's just the truth.
Mhm.
Go watch. We're gonna in a couple of years. We're gonna be like, look at phase 1 and 3, look at phase 4, and look at the fucking stark difference. I mean, it started off fine. Like, Black Widow was pretty. Eternals was like, yeah, No Way Home, and then like Multiverse of Madness starts coming out. These Disney Plus shows start fucking. These just like, you can kind of see in the production timeline when someone stepped into the room and was like, you know what's big in the world today. We might want to start adding this shit in, motherfucker.
You're
Fuck
not
that
wrong.
person.
So that's Miss Marvel recap. Oh, we didn't talk about the post-credit scene. So post-credit scene,
yeah.
She's laying
Cool.
down on her bed. The bangle is lighting up and shit. And then she's looking at it, and then boom, she's transported somewhere, which was a pretty cool animation, actually.
Yeah,
She's transported somewhere, and Brie Larson is kind of shot into the room. So Captain Marvel herself, Carol Danvers, is back. And a lot of people were confused. I saw so many articles that said, "Oh, she shapeshifted into Captain Marvel." I was like, "No, she
Right.
didn't. She
switched places.
switched places with her. You can tell because
Yeah.
Brie Larson looks there and she's like, "What the fuck?"
Well, she's
Where
looking
am I?"
around
Yeah.
looking around the room like she's confused. Like, you wouldn't
Yeah.
do that if you knew you were in a room.
Exactly. So it looks like I at least hope they pick up right off where this was. I'm
sure they will.
So
Yeah.
hopefully we have the very beginning of the Marvels, or maybe this will be like the midpoint of the movie where she gets transported to Earth and Amon Vellani, Kamala Khan. I keep forgetting her character's name. Kamala Khan gets transported there. So yeah, that's the tease for the Marvels.
Yeah, great.
Again, I do have faith in Nia DaCosta. I think she's a fantastic director. And
I never watched anything she's done though. I think so. I don't have anything to say on
she's
that.
good. So I do think that will be a better movie. Again, I want to stress this enough.
Hopefully.
I have no problem with Captain Marvel herself. My
course
problem is
not.
with the movie. The movie
Yeah.
was badly directed and badly executed.
And I want
Written
to.
terribly.
Yeah, it's written terribly. I want them to fix her character. I want to like her character.
I want to love.
I just want to love them.
the character. Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
agree.
I just want them to fix the character. Because like, if you're, that's the whole point about these solo. Well, it's not a solo film technically, but it is in a sense. Like, I want to love whose name is on the fucking poster. That's what I
Right.
want. I want to
Right.
back them. But so far, I could care less about Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel because she seems like a bitch, like straight up. Like,
yeah. It hasn't
Although,
come
again,
off
in this-
on screen
this-
that well.
It hasn't in this scene though, and on the Disney cruise stuff that we've been seeing,
Much different.
much different. Like,
Nia
just
DaCosta directed the
stark
Disney cruise
contrast. Oh,
Yeah.
she did. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think they
Feeling better about
Kevin
that.
Feige, whatever he's doing with the MCU right now, we can say whatever, but he's not a dumb man, and he saw the
Absolutely
reaction.
not.
The audience score
Absolutely
for
not.
Captain Marvel is 49%, and sure, most of the people say, "Oh, it's just people who hate women," but no, it was a bad movie. The way it was a bad film.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
that's that news. I don't have anything else to say about Miss Marvel. It was a fine show, I guess. I am interested to see the numbers in a couple of weeks when that comes out.
Yeah,
to
let's see how
see-
they inflated it this time. I'm just
Well, we'll
kidding.
see, but they were pretty honest last time. 775,000 per episode. Meanwhile, the first 2 episodes of fucking Hawkeye were 1.6 million. So,
You know, whether this is like being paid off or the woke crowd, all I gotta say is good job for all of you guys. You know, like even if you hated the show but you're watching it, you're taking the time and the effort. Good for you.
yeah,
I
you
like.
just give them-
I gotta respect that.
Yeah,
'Cause
I mean, hey,
I know how that feels to like bullshit and just to get what you need.
yeah, if you take the time to watch it, good for you. Your honest opinion, I mean, really, it was just a fine show.
Yeah. And if you liked it, then you won. So good for you.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Anyway,
didn't like it, so I lost.
it was I'm indifferent about it. I could never see another episode of that show my entire life and be completely
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, I'm fine. I don't need to see
Yeah.
it anymore.
Yeah. So that's all the news. Miss Marvel wrapped up. It is, again, I'll say again, it is the highest rated MCU property of all time at 98%.
Congrats.
It is there, and good job. She's a mutant, y'all.
She's a mutant, y'all.
She's a mutant. Bam bam.
God, I don't care.
Yeah. So I care. It's sad that I don't care, and I care more about potentially seeing Glenn Powell as Scott Summers.
I think that's such a great. First of all, because Glenn Powell was so good in Maverick, man. He's so good. Like,
But
he commands the screen every time he's talking. It's so
yeah,
great.
it's that would be such.
I'm
great
excited.
casting.
I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. That
So,
sounds awesome.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Who's the Thing, by the way? You didn't mention who's playing the Thing. Did they have somebody who might be playing the Thing?
That leak said once it's all
Did I miss
settled,
it?
if Steven Spielberg does accept the director role, he will cast Ben Grimm on his own. That he hasn't had anything to do with this past casting. This has all been Feige and the casting department.
They haven't cast. So they haven't casted him yet. That's
They have
interesting.
not cast Ben Grimm yet. I'd hope for like David Harbour.
David
Oh
Harbour.
wait, he's
Yeah.
already in it. He's already
Well,
Red
he's-
Guardian.
Oh yeah. Fuck. You're right.
Fuck.
He would have. Yeah. He would have been a great Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
that's a
just
good one.
cast the guy that played him last time in the first ones.
Which one? Oh yeah. What's his name? Yeah, the guy
Michael
from
Chiklis?
the Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it the Shield?
Chickles?
I think it was the Shield.
Michael Chiklis?
Chicklets.
Chicklets? It's something like that.
He was great. I liked him.
Yeah. Fucking cast Chris Evans as a Human Torch again, too. I don't give a
I'm
fuck.
excited for that. I am excited for that.
Yeah. It should be
That
Should be fun. We'll see. All right.
Just get the original cast back. That'd be really funny.
Just put, yeah. I mean, that's what they should have done in the first one.
Again, I don't like fucking. There's something to bringing back people from a long time ago, and like studios saying like, yeah, we're sticking with them. That's cool, man. I think that's fucking cool. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
you'd be
as much
down
as I
for,
as much as I love hearing about like new actors taking up new roles, I'm perfectly fine with that. How fucking cool would it be if they just kept going, man? Like that's just fucking baller.
So-
This is why I as much as I like Giancarlo, like how the fuck would nobody want to keep seeing Patrick Stewart play playing
I can
that?
see
That's
Patrick
fucking
Stewart's
awesome.
too old. And dude's like
Yeah.
78. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing James McAvoy continue. I thought James
Yeah.
McAvoy and Michael Fassbender.
Oh,
were the
Michael
only-
Fassbender, particularly. Come
were
on,
the
man.
two great parts of that terrible X-Men movies. I loved First Class, and then I really hot take. I didn't like Days of Future Past.
You didn't like Days of Future Past?
I did not like Days of
Why?
Future Past.
No, well, let's
I
go
don't
with that
know.
to another day. We can talk about the X-Men.
Yeah,
films
we got
another
to
day.
get to in that our last
Wow,
segment. But I didn't
that's
like Days
surprising.
of Future Past.
All
And
right,
I
we'll get
did
into
not
that.
like Apocalypse, and then obviously
Who the fuck
Ed
liked Apocalypse?
loved- Well, who the fuck liked Dark Phoenix?
Yeah, no one liked Dark Phoenix except for this guy,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I will stand on a rock and say that forever.
All right. So, last bit of our last segment. So, Ed and I, a couple weeks back, we were talking, said, what's a new fun segment we could do? And I said, or we came up with, let's watch movies that one of us hasn't seen.
Yeah.
And that we recommend to each other.
Yeah.
So like, I think it's basic. We can call them guilty pleasures. I mean, some of them probably are good films that I haven't seen. Good films you haven't seen.
Not always.
You know, like movies we enjoy that we wanted to share with you guys and the our friend here. So that we're calling this segment. We're calling this segment now. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. That is Ed's title.
Okay, I take it back. When you said it just now, I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'll show you mine.
I'm not hating it.
If you show me yours. Okay, so
great.
Like I said, it's 2 guilty pleasures, whatever you want to call them. 2 films we like.
It's just 2 films we like.
2 films we like.
We want to share with each other.
The other hasn't seen yet.
Yeah, so, I haven't seen.
Ed, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I want to go with what you had to watch first, so my choice.
Okay,
and then we'll end with yours.
Ed gave me the movie Equilibrium.
Yes, I did.
Equilibrium. He talks about this movie a lot. He's been telling me to watch it. I think maybe as long as I've known him.
I've been telling people to watch this goddamn movie since it came out. Since I was 12 years old. Yeah. And I promise you, you were the only goddamn person who's actually obliged me in all that time.
I sent him a picture of it. It came out in 2002. So around the Matrix era, when we got 1999, the Matrix came out. And anyway, so basically Christian Bale plays this cleric, a cleric who goes in and kills people who have feelings. Let's make it as simple as possible. That's what he does.
Wow.
That's what he does, right?
I mean, a lot more background, but sure.
Okay,
yeah, that's
maybe I should give
essentially
some background to the film. So the background of the film, Ed's explanation of the film I told him to watch is going to be so much simpler than my explanation. So here we go. So Equilibrium, it's set in this like dystopian future where war and all this stuff has been eliminated because they have eliminated emotions. They give these people these injections that they put in their necks. So these people are emotionless robots, essentially. And Christian Bale's like, he's a cleric, like I said. He's an enforcer. So
like a police.
He's a government agent that's responsible for destroying those who resist the rules. And the rules are simple. You can't have emotions. You can't have emotions. No books, no art, no music. It's all forbidden. And then
basically all art, anything that could make you like your senses feel is
it is and they make them take this drug. The drug is called Prosium, I believe, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Prosium 2.
Prosium, and it basically it suppresses all your emotions. So it makes you soulless, essentially, is a great way to put it. It makes you soulless. You have no soul. You have no emotions. Nothing. Right. And John Preston, Christian Bale, plays this cleric, and these clerics are just straight badasses. They train in gun kata, which is just cool gun stuff and all this cool things.
One of the coolest, dumbest looking fights.
It might be one of the
I've ever seen.
looking fights / coolest. It came out in 2002, like I said, and essentially the plot goes, he drops a dose of Prosium, and then he doesn't take it, and then he starts to feel, and then all these things start kind of coming over him, because he starts having feelings. Like he rescues a puppy after a brutal scene where they kill a bunch of dogs. And he protects a book from getting destroyed. Sean Bean's in it. Spoiler alert, Sean Bean dies because it's fucking Sean Bean. He dies within the first 5 minutes because he's Sean Bean, and that's what happens to Sean Bean. Let's be honest. Poor Sean Bean, man. You're a great actor.
Sean, no plot armor Bean.
Yeah, Sean dead in the first scene Bean. Sean not making it out of the first season Bean. Take your pick. Anyway, so he starts feeling, and then he finds other sense offenders. Sense offenders is what they call them. That's what they're called.
Yeah.
Which leads to some like pretty cool scenes. There's one in particular where they say I guess the bad guys, they realize, oh my God, he's feeling. So they yell, he's a sense offender. And then
I love that
holy
fucking
shit,
scene.
it just goes bonkers.
Yeah,
The dude just like, he snaps the dude arm in half. He like cracks the dude in the face with blood spattered all over. And he basically leads a revolution to overthrow this silly government that blames emotions on war and everything else. And yeah,
that's it. You got it.
That's it. And yeah, I saw it. I went into it with an open mind, and I thought it was way cooler than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because it started out. Yeah, I started out and I was like, okay, there was one big problem with the film, which I'll get to it, but
there's problems with it for sure.
But you know, once we get to like the first scene, it really kind of grabs you because they're taking out all these. You get your like little, hey, here's the story so far, and then you go into the first scene, and it's like there's this shootout, and they're all the people who feel are hiding out, trying to stay away from the clerics. Then Christian Bale comes, and like it's not a scene I didn't expect it to go this way. I think is what happened.
Yeah.
So he runs through this door. And he kicks the door open and he slides on the door in this completely black room. And then he just starts fucking shooting.
Oh, fucking dude.
And I was like, yo, that's pretty dope. Actually.
How badass is that?
Yeah, that was
That's
really
one of the
cool.
most badass shit I've ever seen.
Sliding on the door.
Yes.
I was like, yo, that's cool. And
How
then I
fucking
won't
cool
lie,
is that?
it started to lose me a little bit because I was like, okay, what's going on here? Because they're going to kill Sean Bean, obviously, in the next 5 minutes. Because he stole a book and then, it was way cooler than I think it had any right to be.
Absolutely.
It's really those action scenes. The last like 10, 15 minutes of the movie where he overthrows the government are insane. It's just crazy how he does it. It's a pretty short movie. It's an hour and 45 minutes.
Very digestible.
I was kind of like, well, that's over really quick. I thought Christian Bale was great, but when is Christian Bale not great in something?
I'm saying, man.
My one problem with the film is that Taye Diggs, like, if you're supposed to be not feeling, you have so Christian Bale plays the perfect emotionless robot.
I already know what you're talking about.
Taye Diggs, who has the most emotion, and I think he does a fine job performing.
Yeah, he's not bad. Yeah.
But it pulls you out of the oh geez, I hit my Mac. He pulls you out of the narrative of the movie because he has so much emotion. Like the whole time
he's like smirking.
Yes.
He's like, dude, a lot.
The whole time I was like, oh, Taye Diggs is in on it. He's gonna help Christian Bale overthrow it. Because I was like, no, this dude has so much emotion. You can't have character and be emotionless. You have to not have any character. Yeah. But
I agree with you. Like he's playing it a little much. But here's the thing. Here's a cool theory I had about that though. You know, Prosium, the thing that they inject in themselves to suppress memories, it is you at some point in the film you realize that you can like augment the dosage. Remember, like when he drops his vial, the kid says like, I think I might like, I forget the exact words, but he's like, basically I'm going to like rejigger it so that it's maybe more or less or whatever. Right. I had a theory that perhaps, like, obviously it doesn't take away all emotion. It just suppresses it. And depending on like how it's rejiggered, it could let out a little bit, you know? And so maybe Taye, in order to be sort of like one of the better clerics, just like maybe just a little less so that he can sort of actually sense it out. I don't know. That's just what I sort of like theorize, but I totally agree with your criticism on that one.
Yeah. So that was my only issue with it. Other than that, yeah, it might be one of the better movies I've never seen. And I think one of the better movies no one's ever seen.
Let's go, baby.
It's got good narrative plot lines. It's got the idea of it is smart. Like the idea that, humans it's human beings that ruin everything. Because when you see those movies come out, right? Like, which by the way, you're right. Human beings do ruin everything. But when you see those like those thread lines start to come out, the immediate thing that you see is that, oh, it's a robot that's going to destroy the world, or that we're just going to destroy everything. But here it's, hey, you actually get to see what it did. Like, oh, we saved the human race by making them not human. When you take feeling away, you're just not human, and that's kind of a good underlying plot. And I do like it. Yeah, Christian Bale again was fantastic in it.
Awesome.
The action scenes are well done. They're ridiculous, let's be honest, but they're well done.
They're creative.
Yeah.
Like they're some of the most creative scenes I've seen. Like where it takes style and it's like, yeah, fucking make it cool, man. Like that's
it takes style. The movie has way more style than it should.
Right. For a movie about no emotion, right?
Right.
Like
which I was about to say that. I was about to say though, they're like, for the movie that has no motion, right, in the characters, it's counteracted with the big amount of style that he put into the directing, and I don't know who directed it, but that Christian Bale put into the directing and the action. You counteract it, and you kind of create this kind of cool little intersection where, the characters don't matter, but the style of the film is going to make up for it. It's right. Yeah, I think it was really cool. I think if it came out, this year or a couple years ago, it would have been much bigger. But
correct.
It's a really cool idea. I didn't know anything about it. Ed's just been telling me to watch it. He never gave me a breakdown of it. But I like the idea of actually seeing that dystopian future where, yes, we are, we don't have war. There's no murder. There's no anything, but we're all the same. We're all just a bunch of mashed potatoes in a sack, that's it. I really liked it. The gun kata scenes were great. But it was worth the watch for me. So I enjoyed it, and I'll definitely watch it again sometime.
I think you just made my fucking year, man. I'm getting married this year. Doesn't matter if it goes wrong. I think I got what I needed for the rest of my life.
Let's hope she doesn't want to bride you.
I play Equilibrium on the screens like there.
I'm gonna be okay.
All I can say is I'm glad you liked it, obviously. I'm so happy that you did. I figured that you would. I mean, I think our senses are very similar. And I was like, I think you'll like this, because I think what the great thing about Equilibrium for me, I think it's one of the best examples of maximizing a simple premise and getting the most out of it. Not only that, its budget was $20 million, which is that's nothing. Even for 2002.
Back in 2002, I was about to say that's not much.
That's still not much.
No.
Like some freaking like comedies have more money than that. And just what the director, by the way, is Kurt Wimmer, who honestly hasn't done really much anything else since then, and it boggles my mind why he hasn't. Well, except he did do he did the what's that freaking movie with Mila Jovovich? Ultraviolet. Right after this, which if you have
Mila
seen,
Jovovich a star.
How is her star?
How is she still a star?
Oh, how is she still a star? Honestly, it's because she is one of the bigger badass women who like really tries to do the stunts and things that she does. I think she does a great job. I like Mila Jovovich a lot. But I get what you're saying. I get the undertone there. Okay. But I think she's good. Anyways, so Kurt Wimmer has done that and Ultraviolet, which was nowhere near as good as this movie. But yeah, I think this movie, it stunned me as to like what you could do with so little and get the maximum out of it. Right. Particularly for 2002, the $20 million budget. And yeah, just the creativity that in the cinematography. I thought the production design was awesome. The editing is awesome. It's so good.
Great. Yeah,
it's so good. Yeah, and you made a great point. Like the style of the movie really makes up for this really what would potentially be a very bland movie with no emotion. Particularly in the first scene. Right in the first scene, you get a lot of that style. The camera kind of pans out when they like fire onto the paintings that they find. Yeah. There's some great like whip pans and push-ins. It takes the director knows what he's doing. Like he really uses a lot of the language and techniques in this film. Yeah. It really well planned out. And Christian Bale, dude, so good. He probably got paid like $10,000 for this movie or some shit like that. and he brings it, man.
That was before his star was big.
No one knew Christian Bale yet. Not really. He'd been like, you know, no, like he was doing like
Newsies?
he was, yeah, exactly. He was like kind of getting out of his like kid phase where he'd been in movies for a while by then, but
it was this was 2002, right?
Yeah, 2002.
So he did American Psycho before.
American Psycho. So that was like the like I think he might. I mean, that, and the American Psycho obviously went on to do bigger numbers than this.
Right.
But he goes to show like give Bale anything Bale does, it's because he wants to do it and he's not going to fuck around.
Yeah, exactly.
And he absolutely brought it. I think his performance, honestly, if it failed, I don't think this movie would be as good. Because you have to buy into this guy.
Right. You have to buy into this. He's an emotionless guy who's starting. And the best part,
like, he's feeling feelings for the most part, like for the first time. You have to sell that. And that's hard.
The best part about his emotions, whatnot, coming in is it wasn't just sudden. It was very slow. And it's
one of the great things about the movie is like about like just before the second half and into it a little bit, all of like there's no action. All of it is really like scenes of like, oh, again, the dog scene, or he's stealing the book. Just like these little breadcrumbs of like him becoming a person. It's great. Yeah. Like there's that scene at the when he's at work and his desk is so organized just like everyone else's, and it's just this beautiful scene where he just kind of moves things around like a baby for the first time.
Yeah,
and he sells that so well, and it's like, wow, like this is really well thought out. Like this is like, it really makes you feel for him.
The first time he had freedom. In that
exactly. Right. Yeah, and freedom's a big part of the story. So yeah, I just thought it was a really great example of like a BC movie that, just by budgetary reasons.
Yeah.
And they just, I think, did an amazing job with it.
You believe it's in the future. They make the cars, they put the effort into it. Yeah, I think it's a good B movie. Again, for me, you found someone like if I can find a reason to watch movies like Lake Placid or Deep Blue Sea or Crawl. Those are all creature features, but I would say they're all strong B movies where the budget's not $200 million, but you're still going to enjoy the movie. And at the end of the time, you're going to have a good time with it. That's where I would put this in that B movie territory, because sure, the budget's not great, but everybody executed so well. Not you, Tay.
Absolutely.
Not you. Just kidding. You were still very good in it. This was like
he's not shit. But I get your point.
The best acting I've seen from Tay Diggs.
I would agree. I like the fact that he could even just somewhat do this. I thought was really impressive.
Yeah. So but I enjoyed it. Yeah. So
I'm glad.
That one goes into the win category.
Please,
we'll see which
please spread it around. Tell your friends who love sci-fi. Give Equilibrium a chance. It does have a 41. It is rotten, but I think it absolutely deserves so much more than what it's getting. So.
Movies like that get rotten because a lot of reviewers that I've noticed, they'll do the whole, oh, it's just a drag, blah, blah, blah. They're not actually giving it its time to be, actually good. I mean, it has an 81% audience score, which, by the way, is higher than Thor: Love and Thunder and Multiverse of Madness. So
good point, Alex. Great marketing pull for that. Yeah. So catch Equilibrium. It's a great sci-fi action film. I'm glad. I'm so happy. I can't even tell you how happy I am that you liked it, Alex. Cool. Great. Well, Kate, great. That's Equilibrium. I'm glad you liked it. And we're gonna move on to Alex's pick for me, which was Blender. I'm just kidding. No. It's Blended.
There you go.
Blended. It is the 2014 comedy starring the irresistible Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. It's their third comedy film together after the, I dare say, iconic films of Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates.
Yeah, I would agree.
I love both of those films. I think they're two of Adam Sandler's best films. I've watched them so many times. Okay. So,
I can watch 50 First Dates on repeat. I mean, it would be on this list, but everybody's seen 50 First Dates because it's so funny and it's so charming.
I also want to say one of the best, honestly, straight up one of the best comedy synopses, like just premises ever.
Oh yeah.
Ever. it's such a great fucking premise. Anyways, we'll do a Adam Sandler ranking maybe one day, but it is their third film with these three, and it is actually directed by Frank Coraci, who did The Wedding Singer, which I didn't know until I had watched it. Yeah, same wedding, same director. And yeah, so it tells the story of these two middle-aged going through basically what's the term? Single parenthood, but also just like what's the term when you're just like in the middle of your
midlife crisis?
Midlife crisis, in a sense, where they both were married. They're now both divorced. They both have two children. Adam has two girls who one of them people keep thinking is a man, and Drew Barrymore has two boys. And essentially, they go on a date. They realize they're not for each other. However, fate has them still entangled, and it seems like they keep wanting to be together until they find out that Adam Sandler's boss, who is the boss of the sporting goods store, Dick from Dick's. That's so funny. He was supposed to go on a trip to Africa. Unfortunately, that went south, but instead, Adam Sandler reached out to him and was like, "Hey, I want to go on a trip. I want to take my kids. I want to be a better father." Which then ended up having Drew Barrymore's character do the same thing. And so they end up on a family trip that they didn't want together in Africa. And so the rest of the story basically is them obviously falling in love and becoming a family, learning to love each other. And then they find a family that two broken families become a whole, basically. Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed this movie too. It's definitely, I could not help but enjoy this movie. I mean, dude, honestly, Sandler and Barrymore just have insane chemistry. Yes. Just something about those two when they're on screen together, either they're doing something emotional, just being stupid with each other, that you just can't help but watch. And I don't know I can't explain it to you besides the fact it's like they've known each other forever. It's like they either lived next to each other, growing up, and they just get each other so well, and there's just this undeniable chemistry, and that's what carries almost honestly most of their films together. And this is just another example. Like, they're just such fire together. Do I think that I don't particularly think that the story in this one has really connects with the heart as much as like The Wedding Singer I think successfully did, and 50 First Dates did, and some of the other Adam Sandler movies did back then. But that's fine. I thought that the jokes landed for the most part, and there's so much happening, and like there's the pace is it's well paced. There's so much happening, and it's just one of those movies like that's trying. The great thing about Adam Sandler movies is that yes, they're stupid, but their goal is to be stupid and make you laugh. They're just there to put you in a dumb situation and just make you laugh. That's all of his movies. And it's like, if you're not down for that, you're going to fucking hate it. But if you're just wanting to laugh and see cameos from characters and other comedians, it's hilarious. And so, I just thought it was a good time. Not as good as his others, but still pretty irresistible. I hate that it took me this long to kind of watch this film. Right. Because I love the other two movies. So I don't know why it fell through, but perfectly enjoyable comedy that totally delivers on the Adam Sandler things you can expect. So I just liked it a lot. Yeah.
To your point, I didn't watch it. I mean, you said it came out in 2014. I didn't watch it
2014.
Like a year and a half ago.
Is that true? I didn't know that. I thought you had watched it a while ago.
We were out of stuff to watch. I was like, Blended's on. Let's watch that.
Okay.
We ended up loving it. Again, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, it's a better comedy than Tropic Thunder or something like that.
It's not trying to be that.
Right, but it's not trying to be that. It's I will dare to say this. Adam Sandler's the Tom Cruise of comedies. He doesn't care about telling you a message. He doesn't care about X, Y, and Z. He just wants to make something fun. And
that's a great point.
Yeah, he'll have his fun doing it. And this is that. I thought there's some really funny moments in this. I think Sandler's hilarious in this movie.
Absolutely. He continues to be.
Yeah, there's a moment when Drew Barrymore goes into the son's room and finds a dirty magazine, but it's his babysitter's head pasted on top, and she like rips it up.
Oh,
is
God.
so funny. So she has to go to the store to get a new Dirty magazine, and Adam Sandler's there to get his daughter pads or tampons, whatever they're called. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
And it's just like this really, really funny thing. And
I agree.
Yeah,
and then
like,
it has that classic like Adam Sandler style comedy where, yeah, in that same scene it will like cut to the boy's face and he's smiling. He's asleep, but he's smiling. He has just like this huge smile on his face. That's so good. And yeah, that's a great. Yeah, it's really funny. It's a great scene.
There's a lot of that Adam Sandler silly stuff going on.
And you know what? What this one does, I think, even more so than his other films, really well, is he gives a lot of the laughs to a lot of everyone else around him. Like the kids, a lot of the kids get a lot of screen time in this one, and I thought they were pretty funny. Like all those situations were really great. One of my favorite parts that I thought was really creative, like actually something that really builds off on the classic Sandler comedy is that scene in when they're at the dinners. There's two. It happens twice where the first time it's the daughter who comes out
with the makeover.
The makeover, and then these like classic 80s 90s like pop songs come on that like go from whoever is like witnessing the her come out. Yeah, I forget the songs exactly, but at first it's Drew Barrymore and she's looking at the girl because she
every woman, right?
Is that the one? I forget, but it's like it's a song like that. It's making her feel like, yeah, I'm proud, like I did that.
I remember.
You're beautiful.
So Drew Barrymore has "I'm Every Woman," that song.
Okay,
and then the little boy that likes
the
her,
boy
that likes her.
I want to sex you up or something. Or
no, it's I'll make love to
you.
Yeah,
that song. Yes.
Yeah, and then Adam Sandler
of the world.
It's the end of the world.
I thought that was so creative. Yeah. I love that. I was dying. I was like, that's so funny. Yeah. And just a creative way to like be a little meta too, just like in editing, just like, yeah, let's use these songs that clearly they're not hearing, but it works so well. I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah. It's just, look, this movie has 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. And there was a time when
I don't blame them, but
everybody it seemed like everybody had it out for Adam Sandler. Like
sure.
Movie critics, and like, so like, I was like, man, that's really bad. I don't ever want to see this. But I watched the film and I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. And there's this one review here. He's called The Independent Critic. And he goes, ignore the critics. Blended is a return of form for Sandler. And I thought that was true. I thought he was kind of old school Sandler in this. And
definitely. Yeah.
So yeah,
I love that. That's a great. That's perfect. That's perfect. I don't know how else to say it. Concise. So, it is. It's a great return to form, and I loved all the cameos. Dude, Shaq was awesome. I thought I wanted more Shaq. I hated that he plays his coworker at Dick's, and he's great. Like I didn't know he could like act that well. I thought he was pretty. I thought he did a pretty good job.
He was pretty funny. He's also funny. One of Sandler's other films.
He is on Netflix. I think he's on like one of the Netflix films. Which I have not seen any of them, to be honest.
I've seen Murder Mystery.
Okay. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm not gonna lie.
Murder Mystery was bad, but
okay. I haven't heard great things about the Netflix ones.
Grown Ups 2. I think he was in
Grown Ups. Yeah. So this might have been I don't know if this was the first time Shaq was in there, but I'm glad he continued because he's great. And I thought he was going to go on the trip with them. And I would have loved that if he had come along to be kind of like maybe his support, like maybe at first he's like hesitant towards Drew Barrymore and eventually like he likes her and starts to like encourage him to like love her. I thought that would have been awesome. And then maybe some scenes with Terry Crews who
Terry Crews steals the show for me, dude.
His accent
is so funny.
So ridiculous.
We are blending.
You always have to have someone arbitrarily singing that just kind of enters in an Adam Sandler movie. There's something about someone singing in Adam Sandler that's just so fucking funny, and he plays it so well. He does Terry Crews, and it's just funny as hell.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny.
To your point about it doesn't have as much heart as 50 First Dates, but there is very sweet moments in it. Families would enjoy. Like, Sandler's wife passes away in the film before the film starts. And one of the daughters clearly has like PTSD because she still like sees her, and Drew Barrymore
Yes.
treats her like a normal person. And for her, that's enough. That's enough for her to kind of get over the trauma of her mom. Like that's in this film,
Bro,
you know?
you know what? I take that fucking back. I don't know why I forgot about
Yeah.
that. You are so true. And that girl, by the way, fun fact, plays Cassie in Avengers Endgame. I don't know if you know that.
That's her. I did know that.
But
yes.
that actress plays
got
that. You're right.
recast,
I'm totally forgot. I totally forgot about that. I kind of teared up in the moment where that first time where they're sitting at the dinner or breakfast. I forget. But she's like, oh, like she asked her about like how your mom is doing, or like she got her mom food. Fruit. I thought that was so fucking sweet. I just like that's a great.
Sweet.
You're right.
Yeah.
I take that back. No, it had like, moments like that. That was the biggest one too.
The
was
ending
the mom.
is fantastic. That's great too. Like Sandler teaches the young boy how to control his emotions and hit a baseball. And because his dad never shows up. And Sandler, even though you don't think they're going to end up together at that point, I mean, you do, but Sandler shows up and he's there at the game, you know, regardless of the situation between them, because he knows it's important to be there for your kids because that's all that matters. And I think that's a nice message in that.
You're
like,
absolutely right.
Like that's heart that you don't get in a lot of comedies. So
you don't.
Yeah.
I misspoke. I still don't think it comes together as well as like some of his other ones. That being said, it does have it. And you're right. You're right. I spoke too soon. You're right. I love that. I love that whole storyline. And then at the end of and when they get back and she tells him, basically giving her acceptance, like giving her the go ahead. Like, yeah, I like, what's her name? Lauren. I like Lauren. You know, mom likes Lauren. I think you should. I lost it. I was like, that is so fucking sweet.
Super sweet.
God damn it. That is so good. So you're right. I like that.
So, it does have some heart, and it's just a fun movie to watch.
It's a fun movie to watch.
It goes up there with my top Sandler films. I'm not even gonna lie. Like my favorite Sandler film is 50 First Dates. Nothing will ever come close to it.
I go between Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates. I can watch both of those movies endlessly. They're so good. Yeah. I love both of those movies.
Yeah. This would be my second favorite Sandler film at the moment.
Wow, your second favorite. I might have to. I find myself wanting to rewatch it again. I'll probably put it on and let's see.
Yeah, I'll watch. You know, I like the other classics. You know, and we're talking strictly comedies. We can't put. I thought Hustle was fantastic on Netflix, and obviously in Inglorious Gems. It's not that.
Inglorious Gems.
What the fuck is that? What's that movie called?
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Inglorious Gems. Hey, that's pretty good, my friend. That's pretty good.
I don't know why I thought that.
That is fucking. I get it. I get the connection you made there.
Okay.
I do get it. Anyways, that's fucking hilarious.
Anyway, I'm just counting Sandler comedies, but yeah, I would watch Blended over Billy Madison. I would watch it over the golf one. Happy Madison.
Billy Madison. Happy Gilmore. Billy Madison. Let's just get that straight.
I put it up over most of those.
My top 3 Sandler movies were Wedding Singer, 50 First Dates, and Waterboy, which I still think that blended does not.
I forgot about Waterboy.
Waterboy is really great. I don't think it cuts those, but this is pretty high too. I agree. I would probably rather watch this even more so now than maybe like the likes of Little Dicky. Is it Little Dicky? Little Nicky. Sorry. Little Dicky is a rapper. I'm sorry. Little Nicky. that is very close.
Yeah, that's super close.
You know, I really love Mr. Deeds too. I watch that a lot, but I love Mr. Deeds, but I think I would actually, because I'm telling you, like, Sandler and Barrymore are just so good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like there's something about them that's so good. Because like the rest of the movies, you don't really feel that same lightning with who else was he been with? Like Click had freaking hottest of the hottest. What's her face? Underworld girl.
Kate Beckinsale.
He always gets these hot fucking women. And
he's been with Jennifer Aniston a few times. Fucker.
I mean, he's been in Jessica Biel, even with that Larry and Harry movie, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And like he just doesn't. He doesn't
Up,
have
Salma Hayek.
Selma Hayek. Like it's these great women, but just no one else like Drew Barrymore with him. I would simply put this movie above it just because the chemistry between them is just so good.
I forgot about The Longest Yard as well. That remake of The Longest Yard.
The Longest Yard.
Fantastic.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, I remember quoting that a lot in high school. That was a good movie.
That was a fun movie.
Fucking what's his face is in it.
Crews
is really good. Terry Crews is in it, but also the other comedian. The one who got into the accident.
Oh, Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan's in it. God, I love him in that movie. It's so funny.
Oh man.
So, anyways, I would put Blended is great. I would definitely put it. It's a perfectly great Sandler movie that I would put up against some of his greatest ones. I'm glad that you got me to watch this.
Yes.
So yeah, I would say this one was also a win.
Equilibrium.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the two movies we told each other to watch, and we ended up both liking. Blended from me and Equilibrium from Ed. Those are the movies we watched, and yeah, both great movies. If you want to laugh a little bit, go watch Blended. You want to realize what it's like not to have any feelings and watch Christian Bale be an absolute badass, go watch Equilibrium.
Damn right.
But yeah, that's it. That's the end of the segment there, and we have given each other two new movies to watch. I have suggested Dave for Ed, Kevin Kline, 1993 comedy, and Ed has given me Eye in the Sky, starring Mr. Aaron Paul Bitch himself from Breaking Bad. So yeah, I'm very excited. We'll check that out, and we'll talk about it next week. Maybe if time permitting, maybe we just spend an hour and a half talking about Comic-Con if half that stuff comes true at Comic-Con.
It might just be.
Yeah, it might just be. We'll find out. But yeah, thanks everybody for listening, watching, subscribing, supporting, all that jazz. It's great. Talk to you next time.